women chase men who have a unique pattern. And this is the power of silence. Have you tuned in? Okay, are you looking at me, at my eyes? Okay, look at my eyes right now. Now, I want you to measure your level of consciousness right now, at this very moment. Did you do it? I asked you that question in the past, and I wanted you to do that in that very moment. What were you doing? You are loading, trying to understand if you can do. You are waiting. That is the level of consciousness that exists in you. You never did that. You never did it. Why? Because of a certain level of consciousness that exists in you. And that is a pattern that will cause you to either be trapped by women. This is Isaac. I want you to measure right now your level of consciousness. And I want the answer right now. 1, 2, 3. What is the answer? The answer is you can never measure your level of consciousness. Because the consciousness in itself is a complicated pattern. There are things that you do and it's a subconscious action, yet it can be seen by a highly conscious person and they can identify that that is a pattern in you, but they can also know that you are not aware of your own patterns. So your consciousness is not high. So you lack a factor that broadens up the consciousness of your own existence in your own state of consciousness. Women only chase men who have a certain state of consciousness, yet they still act in a certain way and not repeat their own pattern because they want a factor to add on the old consciousness that exists in them so that they can broaden up the consciousness to their head of life, of things, and to be in a certain state, to know the truth in it itself. Hannah is going to know 4 men: Isaac, Johnny, Solomon, David. She is going to measure the level of consciousness that exists in these men by screening a pattern, a behavior that these men will do the same pattern again and again and again and again, like you do it today, tomorrow, the next day. And that pattern is what? The character that you are doing is what? That pattern, that character that you're doing today, tomorrow, the next day, after month, after a year, that character defines your level of consciousness on the sight, in the sight of women, in the sight of Hannah. That is how she measures your level of consciousness, by following up with your pattern. And which pattern is it? And how is it repeating itself? So that I can measure your consciousness. If your pattern is unpredictable, then you are constantly seeking a factor to add on your past consciousness. But now, when you end up realizing truth followed by prejudice, the truth is being experienced on a feeling of hurt, and then you block it to go back to normal because it is the truth, but because of the feeling of hurt, you stop experiencing the truth. You break from the truth to go back to your past consciousness. Then you do it today, tomorrow, even when that lady breaks up with you, Hannah breaks up with you, she cheats with you, you meet with Christine, she does the same thing. You do not face that truth as truth so that you can insert a factor into your consciousness so that you can broaden up your consciousness and learn what you are doing to attract those women and what you are doing to make them see you as a trap. Rather, you just break from that truth. Then you go back to your old pattern. That is a pattern being observed by females so that they can trap you. And they won't chase you. But a man who is willing to insert a factor into his level of consciousness that there is in him, this is a guy who is unpredictable because the pattern is not predictable, and he is willing to face the truth as it is even when it hurts, which allows him to be unpredictable, and women chase after him. Obedience, respect. In itself, it is a consciousness that has been existing in the past, and it has been maintained for the past million years. So it is a certain level of consciousness that has been existing. Heart. It's also a feeling that reveals the truth, and it has been maintained, sustained for the past million years. And this is the level of consciousness that exists in it itself. You get to know the truth most of the time through heart, which allows you to go back to experiencing a consciousness that has existed for the past million years, which is the best way to deal with female nature. But most of you break free, you break loose, you assume, I'm hurting, you end up with another lady, but you do not accept the truth as it is. And so your pattern and your behavior is fear of being alone. And she has observed you move from Hannah to Christine to Mary without even healing. And these women act in the same way. And that is the pattern that you have. So that is your level of consciousness. And she also knows you are not even aware of your own pattern. So you are not even aware of your own consciousness. Yet, you think you are high value. No. She identifies you as a guy she can easily end up smashing, sleeping with, getting what she wants from you, because you are less aware of your own consciousness. Consciousness is more than just being alive. I'm not saying how to be self-aware to create anxieties. Your level of consciousness defines how you identify truth and label the truth as truth. My seeing of truth and how I see truth as it is through my experience, that is not how you see the truth. But I will have to introduce data and evidence to mess up with your logic so that you can see the truth that I want you to see, so that you can operate on a minimum level of consciousness for me to control you. But when you cannot fall up to that trap and you cannot mess up with your consciousness through complying to her trap, then you are a guy she's going to chase after. Hypergamy is a feeling. And when you act against what I expect you to act, you are giving me a feeling of fulfilling hypergamy. That fulfills hypergamy in somehow a different form. Now I end up chasing you, admiring you, wanting to be with you. I want you, Isaac, to know one thing. This is what will make women chase you. The truth that you stumbled on, it is supposed to hurt. You found her cheating. That is the truth. It is supposed to hurt so that it can deliver the message of truth in it itself. The heart is the reason why it is the truth. And it's not supposed to disqualify your value and your existence as a man. But the truth most of the time disqualifies a lot of men. She walked away, so I am not valuable. No, she walked away because that is the truth as it is itself. And it's giving you a message. It's a feeling that is delivering a message to you. And it's not a feeling to measure your value. And how important you are, or how you are supposed to change so that later on another lady cannot walk away from you. Yeah, I know you're disappointed. You never knew that this was the message. I'm telling you, this is the only way to get ahead of women so that they can chase you. Don't pretend that you are ahead of women when you are doing things to keep a woman. Your level of consciousness is so minimal because you're not trying to find a new factor to identify the truth. The truth is, women want you to do things so that they can eventually leave you. But you think that is the reason why she can stay. And your level of consciousness, which is your pattern, will continually be the same. Because you're not willing to accept the truth. As far as I have these, I have assets, I have a house, I have a car, I have a six-pack, then she will stay. Bullshit. You think that these assets deliver your value as a man. And that is why you expect Hannah to commit to you, which now communicates that your level of consciousness is not aware that hypergamy is what you need to fulfill for her to stay, which is putting yourself first and identifying yourself as valuable enough without the assets. And these assets are just an added advantage for my life to be easier, and not to confirm to her that my existence is valuable enough. You are going through a certain challenge and you are facing certain challenges in your life, and then you try to seek for an advice from your friend. He has dated 5 women, he ended up with 2 women, and now one lady is obsessed with him, and it has worked for him because that is his truth, and his level of consciousness is denying the truth or accepting the truth as it is. But his truth will never work on you. But you want what is working for him to work for you. It will never work. These are the things that just exist, but we do not want to accept as it is, because we are trying to go against the society, yet the society is enslaving men. You need to do this, fix this, do this, then you will keep her. You will eventually lose her. After being in a marriage for 20 years, 10 years, now you are questioning your reality because you are going against the society by wanting freedom. You need to look after who you are and what can you do to win against the society is by going against it in a psychological structure. That is the only insight you can have to gain freedom. You will never get freedom until you realize and you learn that. For the sake of this video, and too much noise outside, I'm not here for that. I can't entertain that bullshit. I was just having fun, and I don't want anyone to ruin my time by causing too much noise to you guys. Let it be enough for you today. May you enjoy. May you always be ahead of female nature. Ah.